I'm thinking about there's several countries that are wanting to roll this out.
Yeah.
India, Sweden.
Yeah.
And then there's countries that already have it going. You discussed China, Bahamas, Jamaica. Do we have any cautionary tales coming out of these countries? Things that are going well, maybe things that are not going well?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Most countries are going this way. So over 100 countries are currently exploring or in the advanced stages of implementing a CBDC. And so this will be the rule, not the exception. This is why I think it's so important for the United States to take a stand and say this is something we will not do, because the lazy approach is to just kind of let this ubiquitous surveillance become ever more ubiquitous with no pushback. So the cautionary tales are several. One is that one of the things that China ran into during its pilots of CBDCs is that people already had such an efficient digital cash system through like WePay and Alipay that they didn't understand the value proposition of a CBDC. Like, why should I use this CBDC app when I can already pretty much do everything digitally? And all of that is fully surveilled already. So there was a question about, the value proposition there. But, if it's mandated to use CBDCs, then people will use them. And so that's just, application of the violence of the state. In the Eastern Caribbean, we saw another cautionary tale, which is that the maintenance of the technical infrastructure is a big challenge. Governments are not designed to deliver and maintain software for the most part. That's not their mandate. And so there are some very technically sophisticated people working in government, but they're not software companies with the singular mission of delivering and maintaining complex software. And so, most of these CBDC applications will be outsourced to the private sector. There will be contracts awarded. And in the areas where the government's responsible for actually maintaining the software, it could be very spotty. And so like what we saw in the Eastern Caribbean, for example, is that, they used a Hyperledger Fabric-based private blockchain implementation for their Dcash CBDC. And someone just forgot to update an SSL certificate. And so the CBDC was offline for 2 months while they figured it out. And so it's these really simple, unforced errors that will inevitably happen where the government leads technology implementation on these issues.